Hi, today we're going to take a look if you are on the right path, if you are doing the right thing right now. This can be within your relationship, within your career, or just your life path in general. So I have 3 piles prepared for you, and these are all about your current energies because that is what we're going to start the reading off with. And for pile number 1, I have an amethyst crystal. For pile number 2, I have the Smoky Quartz crystal. And for pile number 3, I have a piece of fluorite. Take a little bit of time to meditate on these cards if you will. And once you have found the pile that resonates most with you, I'll meet you at your timestamp, which you can find in the description box below. Hi, pile number 1, you chose the amethyst crystal. So let's take a look at your card for your current energy. I have the 8 of Swords. It is no wonder that you were drawn to the topic of this reading because this is about feeling stuck, not knowing which way to go, but mostly, as you can see here, feeling stuck and not knowing which way is out. What we can see here in this card is this person is blindfolded and they are in a glass box. And the door is right on top, the door is right open, and they definitely have the strength to take off the blindfold and to escape from the glass box. So this can indicate a couple of things. The glass box can show us that you feel very watched, that you feel like you are struggling, like you're stumbling, and you are feeling like people are judging you, people are watching you, and maybe you want their help, but they're not giving it to you, or they're just shouting out random things that you should do, but you feel like they just don't resonate. That is one of the options with the glass box. Like I said, you can also feel like you're just very much being watched and or mostly being judged for what you're doing right now, or for just not knowing which way to go next, or how to sort of get out of this slump. For some of you, it could be that you're in a slump, sort of a creative slump. You don't really know how to get out of it, but that is the overall current energy that I see for you here. If this resonates, that's great. You chose the right pile. If not, then go ahead and pick another pile to see if that resonates better. Now I want to take a look at what are your doubts about where you are right now? What if you're doing the right thing? What are your doubts? What are the things that you are unsure about? I have the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is about emotional satisfaction or just satisfaction in general. You don't know if this path, this road, this journey that you're on, whether or not that will sort of bring you satisfaction and will help you achieve your goals. I do feel like you have some sort of an idea of what you want your life to look like. You have some sort of an idea of where you want the end point of your journey to be. You just don't really know whether you are on the right path to get there. And that's very distinction, I guess, because not everybody knows where they want to go. Some people just don't know if they're doing the right thing, don't know if they're on the right path because they don't know what the end result is going to be. I feel like you very much have goals in mind. You very much know where it is that you want to go, but you're just unsure of if this path, if the way that you are doing things now is going to prevent you from achieving those goals, or if it is going to help you achieve those goals. So let's take a look at what the energy is of the path that you are currently on. Let's see. I have the Page of Cups. So I definitely feel like you are on the right path, but I also want you to know that you can allow time for yourself to get distracted a little bit. You can allow yourself to be a little curious and to try out different things and to be sort of excited about what it is that you do. That doesn't necessarily have to be like an actual distraction of your goal, but you can allow yourself to do something that like your inner child would do. This deck, the Wake Me Up Tarot, very distinctly talks about the pages as children. So it's childlike energy. So think about what are the things that you would do as a child. What were the things that satisfied you, that would make you happy when you were a child. I feel like that is some sort of an energy that you need to focus on the goal right now, or that is something that you are trying to sort of shift towards and you want to know whether or not that is the right thing. And I definitely feel like you are encouraged to do more of the things that make you happy. It's plain and simple. That is what I'm seeing here. So let's take a look at where to go from here. I have two cards. I have the High Priestess and the Six of Swords. The High Priestess tells me that you need to listen to your intuition, you need to trust your intuition, because I get the feeling that you know more than you think you do, and you can trust your instincts and your higher self, I guess, your instincts, your intuition, you can trust it more than you give it credit for. I also here have the Six of Swords, which says that if at any point you feel like you're doing something that no longer feels right, you are allowed to leave it behind. And I feel like that is a message that some of you really need to hear, that you are allowed to leave things behind. You are allowed to say goodbye and to sort of transition and to go through transitions and to go through different phases on your journey. So pile number one, that was the reading for you. I really hope it resonated with you. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see more pick a card readings, all that fun stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Hi, pile number two, you chose the Smoky Quartz crystal, and let's take a look at what your current energy is like. I have the Seven of Cups. So the reason that you don't know if you're on the right path, if you're doing the right thing, is because there are so many options, and I see this as a couple of things. Because we see here someone like a wedding ring, we see a magical book of some sort, we see likes, we see money, car keys. So this can indicate either you like wishful thinking, so really wanting a whole lot but not really knowing which one to focus on. It's sort of that idea of getting distracted with a lot of options, with all of the options that there are, and you just don't know which way to go. I don't know if you've necessarily already chosen a way to go. I feel like most of you are still trying to choose and are very hesitant about where to go next and what to focus on. So that does look like your current energy right now. If that is something that resonates with you, then you've chosen the right pile. If not, feel free to go back and choose another pile. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the cards and take a look at what your doubts are. So what are your doubts about the path that you are currently on? I have the Two of Pentacles. Again, you feel so indecisive. There are so many options. You feel indecisive. This is a card of picking your priorities. You so desperately want to make sure that you are making the right choice. You definitely feel afraid of setting the wrong priorities. You feel afraid of choosing the wrong thing, but that also makes it so that you're not taking any action. You're not doing anything because you're so afraid of doing the wrong thing that you just end up not doing anything. And I feel like that is sort of the struggle that you are going through right now, that is happening inside your brain right now. So that is the doubts that I see. So now I want to take a look at what's the energy of your journey, of your path in general. What is the energy? I see the Ace of Wands. Anything creative, anything that fuels your passion. For some of you, it might be creative, like actually drawing or writing or something like that. Something really creative, but most of all, something that you feel truly passionate about. So something that you feel like lights that fire within, something that you feel absolutely passionate about. That is what I feel you're destined to do on this journey, what you are thinking. So anything that you feel very passionate about, what lights your fire, what makes you happy, but mostly what feels really fiery and hot to you, if that makes sense. So let's take a look at where to go next. I have the Hermit card as well as the Queen of Swords. So you need to take a little bit of time for yourself. I need to check whether or not my dog just escaped. Beer, iemand. My dog was about to escape and he thinks I'm very rude for not letting him. Anyway, the Hermit card is a card of being alone for a minute, some introspection, some reflection. What is it that I truly want? Because when you know what it is that you truly want, you are a little bit more certain about which way to go from there. And with that introspection, I need you to be incredibly honest with yourself. The Queen of Swords here, first of all, she's gorgeous, but also she is leaving her emotions sometimes, like, there are still emotions, right? Because we see the cup here, but it's upside down. So she's not letting her emotions influence her decision too much. Because if this is about your career, you need to think logically that whatever way you want to go, yes, you want to be passionate about what you do, but you also need to make money. You also have to think practical, you also have to think logical. If this is about a relationship, yes, you should go with someone who makes you feel very passionate and who you are very passionate about, and what sort of fuels that, I don't know, what makes you feel hot, you know? But also, while that is definitely true, you also need to be with someone who respects you and who makes you happy, but that it's like, don't leave the logic out of this decision, whether it is about a person, a career, whatever it is. I also think this could also be about a friendship, and then the passionate part isn't necessarily about like being passionate together, but maybe sharing a passion together, a creative passion, something like that. But also still with the Queen of Swords, be logical about whether or not this makes sense. I hope that makes sense, but I feel like it does. So pile number 2, this was the reading for you. I really hope it resonated with you. Please let me know in the comments down below how it resonated. If you want to see more like this, definitely subscribe to the channel, because I do pick a card readings all the time. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Hi, pile number 3, you chose the Fluorite crystal. So let's take a look at your current energy. So the energy that I see here is the 9 of Swords, and you can see that the reason that you don't know whether or not you are doing the right thing, whether or not you are on the right path, is because you are so extremely worried and anxious. This is like the worry, the anxiety card in the tarot. You are afraid of making a wrong choice, making a wrong move. You are so, I don't know if the right word is debilitated, but almost like and it feels very similar to pile number 2. So maybe you were deciding between pile number 2 and 3, because what I feel here as well is, I'm actually seeing something that is different in this card, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. But what I feel is being so worried of making the wrong move, or whether or not you're doing the right thing, that you end up doing nothing at all. So there's more an inactiveness. I also think with the 9 of Swords, because it is the suit of the swords, so we have logic, you're overthinking it. Like, there's no way around it. You are overthinking this. You are overthinking it, and there's no action being taken. What I saw in this image, because this is the Wake Me Up Tarot, this is quite new to me. Actually, it's pretty new to me. These are the first readings that I'm doing with this deck. But we see here, if it will focus, we see in the blanket, come on, we see in the blanket all these astrological symbols. So it's almost like, yeah, astrology, I definitely feel like it has a place in making decisions or contemplating things or just weighing options, you know. Astrology and as well as tarot definitely have a place in decision making. But I also believe that you shouldn't let your decision making be up to astrology or tarot. And this is coming from a tarot reader, so who has definitely done her fair share of decision making spreads, both for you guys as well as myself. But it's true, you shouldn't let your decision making be up to all these other entities, all these other things, when you definitely have the brain and the capacity to make decisions for yourself, okay? So that is the energy that I'm getting here for you. If this resonated, great, you can keep on watching. If not, then feel free to pick another pile in the first portion, or pick another pile and hopefully that resonates for you. Now let's take a look at what are your doubts regarding the path that you are on. The Emperor. Interesting. So this is a card to me that talks about control, of being in control over your own life, being in control over your decisions. And ooh, that is interesting, being in control over your decisions, even though we just talked about you trying to give control to other things so you don't have to make the decisions. So are you afraid that, ooh, I don't know, this could be so many things. I'm just gonna say what I'm thinking. For some of you, this could be that you're afraid of not having enough control. Some of you feel like you already have too much control and you feel like you cannot handle the responsibility, whether that is in a relationship, whether that is in your career, in friendship, and whatever. You feel like you are having doubts about the amount of responsibility that you're getting. For some of you, you feel like it's not enough. For some of you, you feel like it's too much. But there is an imbalance there that I'm getting here. So that's interesting. That's interesting. The Emperor is also about building your own business, or it's very much that entrepreneurial energy with the Emperor. So maybe some of you are having doubts about starting your own business because that is a lot of responsibility and it's really, really scary. And that is something that many, many people tend to overthink. So let's now take a look at the energy of your path right now. So what is the energy of your path right now? The Seven of Pentacles. This is about progress, about having worked really hard and trying to reap the benefits. So some of you have worked really, really hard. Some of you have sort of planted the seeds and you are now starting to overthink things, whether or not you've done things right way, or whether or not you've planted the right seeds, you've done the right things, or done it with the right people, or done it with the right company. That sort of, you are, and I know this is about your journey, not necessarily your doubts anymore, but I feel like the two are linked. I feel like you're having a lot of doubt about the work you've already put into it. And that is why you're overthinking it, because you're afraid that you've just wasted all this time. I'm also thinking a little bit, the Seven of Pentacles indicates your current path, your current journey. So you are right now still, I think, putting a lot of effort into whatever it is that you're doing, and you just want to know whether or not it's right for you. So let's take a look at where to go from here. I always like to do the practical part of a reading as well. So where to go from here? Ooh, I see the Nine of Wands, and this is about sort of seeing it out. What we see right here is someone who is working, I think she's working on a deadline. Yeah, she's working with a deadline. She has a whole lot to do. She has locked her door so that no one can come in and disturb her. She has energy drinks, coffee, and still there's nothing on the paper. So it's like this rut. We can see it as some sort of a rut, which again feels very similar to pile number 2. But I can also see it as that finish line, the journey, the end of the finish line, or the deadline is so close. You might as well just push through and it will all be done by then. When the deadline hits, it will all be done then. So are you on the right path? I think so, but I also think that this path is sort of temporary. I'm gonna pull another card because I did so for the other piles as well. Just another card for where to go here. I think you need to push through because this journey, it sort of feels like it's temporary. The end goal is in sight, and after that, things will go much smoother again. I have the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles also has worked hard to be where she is. And the Queen of Pentacles in this card, first of all, she's gorgeous. But look at that. We have the Seven of Pentacles stacking up all the coins. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles having a cupboard full of coins. So your labor is definitely gonna work out, pay off. Your hard work is definitely gonna pay off. And the Queen of Pentacles also wants to encourage you to look at your self-worth, because that might be a message that some of you need to hear right now, that your self-worth is not tied to this specific path or to this specific end goal, whether that is a graduation, whether that is, I don't know, a wedding, maybe even if you're thinking, some of you might be thinking like the deadline is a wedding and you're not really sure whether or not you are on the right path with this person. I definitely feel like for most of you watching, you need to pull through and things will get way smoother after and things will get way better. And but also remember that your self-worth, what you're worth and who you are as a person doesn't necessarily have to be linked to what you're achieving here. So pile number 3, this was the reading for you. I really hope it resonated with you. Please let me know in the comments down below how it resonated. If you want to see more videos like this, definitely subscribe because I do pick card readings like this all the time. Thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you next time.